Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Everything Tax by Andersen in the UAE. Today, I am Rishi Sundaram, and I'm joined by, of course, our most esteemed guest, the recipient of the ITR Notable Practitioner Award, Gaurav Chugani.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for being here. Thank you for being
Thank you,
here.
Rishi.
We have an interesting topic for you today, but just before we get into that, don't forget to follow us on our social media channels if you want to see more of our content. So, Gaurav,
Yes.
the other day, I had a thought, which was very interesting. I was in a grocery store
Mm-hmm.
and I was just seeing the various products that are available in the grocery store. And I just noticed that uh, electronic cigarettes, vapes, and other kind of similar tobacco products are available. And the grocery store I went to was on my street, which is it's quite a small one, right?
Yeah.
And it just gave me this thought that there's a trend these days, which has been accumulating for multiple years, that tobacco products, maybe with this generation or in general, is increasing in trend and is increasing in terms of consumption as a whole. And I
Correct.
think this has been accelerated in these years, especially. And I think that goes around the factor of convenience, which also
Yes.
just brought the thought to my head, which is that consumption of certain products and their link with health and their alignment with taxes as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, today I just wanted to ask you on this topic of these harmful substances, the relation to health and the relation to tax. So, I wanted to pick your brains on that. So, what do you
Correct.
think about that?
So, Rishi, it's a very important topic which you discussed today. What is happening nowadays? There's a lot of change in the trend. Conventional cigarettes are there, vapes are there. Now there is one more category which is coming.
Yep.
That is the nicotine pouches.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll see one more change because people actually want to quit cigarette
Hmm.
but they're getting into the trap of nicotine pouches.
Right.
So recently, what happened is that the Ministry of Health and Prevention, they conducted a survey. They've started a survey which will again take 6 months to complete, where they're understanding and analyzing what is exactly being consumed now, whether it's harmful to the environment or whether it's harmful to the people. They're doing an analysis. So that analysis will be completed maybe within a span of 3, 4, 5, 6 months, and that results will be used to define and redefine the tax structure.
Oh, that is very interesting. So essentially, it's a survey revolving around the health aspects, healthy
Precisely,
foods,
precisely.
tobacco consumption, like
Agreed,
the environment as a whole in the UAE, right?
agreed.
Oh wow, that is very
So
interesting.
if you remember in 2019, excise tax was implemented on sweetened drinks.
Correct.
That was resultant of a survey which was conducted in 2018 and 19.
Right. So there is a direct link
Yes.
there.
So the scope of excise tax can be further increased if there are items which are harmful to the human beings or to the environment. It's either of the two.
Right.
So now, if you see, technically, the law does not prescribe anything about the nicotine pouches, but if you're registering those products, you have to register it as a excisable product.
Yeah.
In branching, when you're registering, you have to account for 100% of excise tax, but technically, that will be included in the scope of tax shortly.
Right.
Like again, electronic devices were included, the liquid was included. Now, I think there would be a category or there will be a further clarification stating that this was already there as a part.
Mhm.
So we envisage that. Now we are seeing a lot of factories being set up for these nicotine pouches,
Right.
and the cognizance has been taken. Government is working on that.
Mhm.
So we think that maybe in the next few months we'll get a notification about the change of rates or change of scope. Now, if the survey comes out to be that there are a lot of consumption of cigarettes or maybe vapes,
Yeah.
the authorities have the power to increase the tax rates. So
Right.
technically, they have a bracket where they can go up to 300%. Currently, they are 100% for these tobacco products, and so they have a scope of increasing further. But to my understanding, 100% is also a huge number. But if they think that they want to actually reduce the consumption, they want to discourage this, they might go up to an extent of increasing the percentage. Secondly, this survey is in alignment with the World Health Organization.
Oh,
The
I see.
reports and the entire findings of this survey would be shared with World Health Organization. And the Emirates is very compliant, and they want to sort of keep a note about what is happening in the Emirates, and there's nothing which is harmful to the citizens as well as the people who are staying here as non-residents, as residents over here.
Right.
So these surveys will be used, and there are a lot of things which are expected to come out of this survey.
It's fantastic to see that the UAE is kind of compliant and has that initiative
Agreed.
to help the WHO and their principles and the kind of global framework. And it's amazing to see that they're aligned and they're doing amazing. And I think especially what you said in terms of using the health survey that they conduct every 5 years to kind of assess the taxation on it is also kind of speaking to the intention of excise tax as a whole, right?
Correct.
Which is essentially to curtail harmful substances based on the trend and the consumption on average of the
So
population.
if you ask me, this is all about sustainability.
Right.
It's something going towards green tax,
Yeah.
something related to sustainability, but it will come officially sooner or later. If
Right.
not today, maybe 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line.
Right.
There's a lot of buzz, and directly, indirectly, we are heading towards that.
That's great. That's great. Fantastic. So just to keep in mind for those watching, we could definitely see some changes towards the framework of excise tax and the scope of and the rates that are applicable in the near future. Once again, don't forget to subscribe to our social channels. And just a quick note that we are on Spotify as well, so catch us over there as well. And thank you for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.